Hey, Paden, thanks for coming in. I apologize about the 3D not working today, but it may have been better off actually because it would have given you more things to think about. Like I said, in my opinion, your rotation values are normal, probably in both directions, or let's say close enough. Front view grip looks good. Stance width looks normal. Foot flare, you can play with that if it helps you. Not saying you should. It's just very square toed. Other than that, arm structure looks good in both dimensions. Posture looks reasonable. And with that being said, we wouldn't monkey around with your setup. I don't see any major S posture or C posture in this over here, which K-Best would have measured anyway. And then, like I said, it would have measured your rotation values, your tilts, and your up and down movement, which would be spine up and down. With that being said, we have to stick with what we can look at. We saw the ball flights were all pretty good, especially from 6-iron distance. I think you may have missed the green twice out of 10. That's a pretty high percentage. Don't recall what the 8-iron was, but it was pretty good as well. When I was thinking about it, you said your 2-iron functions better than your 4 and 5-iron, and you have a different shaft. You may consider in the short term just spending the money and getting the same shaft put in your 4 and 5-iron if you're going to hit those a lot. With all that being said, if we did look at your golf swing, I would spend more time over here and talk about what I would normally talk about. And that would be the movement of the golf club through space compared to a shaft plane and an elbow plane. And then looking how your swing goes through those planes. More specifically, the club head, not really so much the shaft. I don't get super caught up in takeaways like I used to. Some are textbooks, some are not. Ray Floyd was massively inside and played very well. Some people go more outside. My general things I look at the top of the swing is where are the hands, in what you may call the depth dimension, and or how high is the lead arm. And then where's the club head? And so that would be slightly laid off for a full swing. And by the way, this was one of the swings where you said I'm going to hit it 3/4. That might be a good reference for you, that 3/4 is full. Other than that, I would start looking at, again, the club first. What does the club do? So the club does get back on a plane that's similar to both planes as far as the angle, but the club is higher up in the air, so it's probably going to swing down slightly steeper, which it does. And so a steeper approach into the ball usually has a deeper angle attack, which you do slightly more than tour average. And you get some toe down deflection through the ball, which you do as well. So the concern with the deflection of the toe down is that it makes the club face point differently at impact than what we had anticipated at address. Therefore, the brain has to do some compensations through the downswing to make sure the face is square. Sometimes it will do it perfectly, and sometimes it will overdo it. If we see too many golf balls for you, go to the left. Other than that, like I said, we saw some tour players. Your pelvis is rotated quite well through the ball. I can see most of your backs. That means your upper body rotation is good. Only negative, if you want to call it that, is you do have the pelvis move closer to the ball in the backswing, and then as well through the downswing. But again, that matches up with a steeper plane. So don't go try to change that, because that's a or brain reaction to where the plane is coming from and what it has to do to swing down more shallow. So we kind of agreed we're not going to change this right now. If we did change it in the future, I think you know where we would be going, towards either a lead arm position that's closer to the plane so we don't have to make so much of a plane shift, or we keep the lead arm there and then learn to make the hands go and the club head go more in the two swing planes, closer to the elbow plane for sure. But since we're not going to do that while we're playing and competing. We're just going to put that on the memory banks and say, well, if I do decide to change my swing, then that's what we would change. This is an unusual lesson for me because usually I will go into, we got to change this. But you're the client. I am more than happy to leave your swing alone as long as you are. And so with that being said, I would just encourage you to probably play a couple rounds of golf that are not competitive and pretend like you're making three-quarter swings. Of course, like you said, you'll have to recalibrate how far the ball's going to go, but you're not going to hit it short. You got plenty of club head speed. And then focus on timing and rhythm and things that are more golf course related, and then picking good targets and making wise decisions. And playing golf is different than golf swing. And then getting out there and going, whatever golf swing I got, can't change it now, so no point in really thinking about it. I'm going to think about alignment, ball position, good pre-shot routine, good pre-shot visuals, and then maybe thinking about rhythm if that helps while I'm swinging, or pretty much just concentrating on where do we want the ball to go. That's golf. It's way different than practice where you work on your golf swing. So that's kind of where I would leave it for today. If you do have any questions, though, please let me know. And it was nice having you in.